I'm from Ghazni province of Afghanistan, and I have family, my parents, my two sisters and three brothers that they are still living in Ghazni province. And I was working as a supervisor in a company in the field of research, and as well I had a small business in Kabul as the name of Kulnagar Handicrafts store that I was working there as well. And also I was a women rights activist that I had activity in Ghazni province and as well in Kabul province in many years that just 3 days after falling down of Afghanistan by Taliban, we started protest against the Taliban at 18th of August in Kabul, and I had like these activities and this occupation in Kabul.
What changed in Afghanistan after the takeover from Taliban?
Unfortunately, many things just happened in Afghanistan. When Taliban came, especially the women, after coming Taliban to Afghanistan, they can't work and they can't do anything. Taliban closed all the doors of schools in Afghanistan, and as well Taliban do not allow the women to work outside of the home. It's the bad changes that happen in Afghanistan, and as well Taliban targeted some people, killed some people, arrested many people with any reason, and they tortured those who are in prison or in jail and have so bad behavior with people in Afghanistan. So I think in this 1 year that Taliban are in Afghanistan, there happen many bad changes in Afghanistan.
Okay, how do you feel when you think about Western people living Afghanistan?
I have very bad feeling about this issue because when America when US or any other country left Afghanistan, the situation of Afghanistan became bad day by day. When the US or the other country were there in Afghanistan, the situation was very better than now. Only Taliban are in Afghanistan and they can do anything they want, but it's a very bad condition that happen in Afghanistan, and all countries, all Western countries especially, left Afghanistan, and it has very bad result for Afghanistan.
Okay, how did the change of government affect you?
Unfortunately, in this 1 year, the changes that happened in Afghanistan, it had very bad effect for everyone, especially I think for women. It has more effect. I want to say about myself. Before coming of Taliban, I had job in Afghanistan. I was working in Afghanistan. I could do anything that I could. So when Taliban came in Afghanistan, I could not work like before. I said that I have a business in Afghanistan that before coming of Taliban to Kabul, about 80 or 85 women were working with me on that store. But unfortunately, in this 1 year, we cannot work like before, and it had the changes, or the takeover of Afghanistan by Taliban had very bad effect on me, and after coming Taliban, that I faced with many issues, with many difficulties or problems. So I left Afghanistan, and then about 6 months I had a very bad mental state that I couldn't believe this situation that Taliban came to Afghanistan. I heard this of my father and mother. told me about this issue that about 20 years ago Taliban came to Afghanistan, and just it was like a story for me. But then when Taliban came again, it's really affected directly on me, and now I don't have a job, I can't work like before, and I faced with many problems here. So I think this bad situation or this coming of Taliban to Afghanistan affected to everyone. I mean, it has very bad feedback, especially for women of Afghanistan. Coming of Taliban has very bad effect.
Okay, why you have left Afghanistan for Pakistan?
As I said before, that I was a women rights activist, and as well I was working there in Afghanistan, and we had one protest just after 2 days of takeover of Afghanistan by Taliban in Kabul. So I faced with many problems, and even someone threatened me, and I couldn't work more in Afghanistan. I couldn't do more something in Afghanistan. That's why that I left Afghanistan. I mean, I was in risk, so I lived in Afghanistan, and it's about more than 8 months that I'm here living in Pakistan.
Okay, what do you think international community should do in Afghanistan particularly?
I think I have just one suggestion for international community, that they do not recognize Taliban as a government, and as well should be beside the women of Afghanistan and beside the people of Afghanistan.
Okay, what do you think will happen in Afghanistan in the near future?
If this situation continue as well in Afghanistan, that unfortunately Taliban every day add some limitation for women of Afghanistan, and as well they target, they kill, they do anything in Afghanistan. So if this situation continue in Afghanistan, it has really bad feedback, especially for women of Afghanistan and for ethnic groups in Afghanistan. That I don't know. I think if Taliban be in Afghanistan for more time, after 2 or 3 years, maybe the women even cannot go outside of the home. See the bad situation that now happen in Afghanistan, and just I wish that the international community do not recognize Taliban as a government, and up to the women of Afghanistan can do work, can do anything like before.
Okay, so what is your hope for Afghanistan?
As I'm a Afghan citizen, and it's all time it was in before my dream, it was my hope that Afghanistan be freedom and peace. Although I know in this situation it is impossible, but my dream, my hope for Afghanistan is just freedom and peace and security.
Okay, what do you expect for your future in Italy?
As I'm from Afghanistan, I live before in Afghanistan in a very bad situation with many difficulties. So it's my expected when I arrive to Italy, I work more for my future, for future of my family, for future of all those women who faced with many difficulties in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan the situation of women are really bad. Now all those women that they worked before in Afghanistan, or they had activity in Afghanistan, they are in a very bad situation, they are in risk, they are in trade. So when I arrive to Italy, I will try to work for any woman.